the Royal Mile in Edinburgh. The Royal Mile stretches from the castle and goes through the old town until the Palace of Holyrood House. And the castle is our first point of interest. Edinburgh Castle was the home of many Scottish royals, and it is filled with historic sites, and you could easily spend 2 hours exploring it. It houses the famous Stone of Destiny, the Scottish crown jewels, and many other interesting sites. And if you head from the castle down the hill, you can soon see the Tolbooth Church. The Tolbooth Church is nowadays more commonly known as the Hub. And the church, it was built in the mid-19th century, and it hasn't been used as a church since the mid-80s. And today it houses this cafe restaurant. If you continue further down the Royal Mile, you will soon come across the Gladstones Land. It's a National Trust property. A National Trust is an organization in Scotland, it's also in England, which is dedicated to preserve old historic houses and sites. And in this building you can see how the life in the old town was like in the 17th century. It was once owned by the wealthy merchant called Thomas Gladstones, and it contains an original painted ceiling from that time, and also a range of fine furniture and some artwork. From the Gladstones Land, if you just head further down, you will soon see the David Hume statue. David Hume, he was a philosopher, and his big toe is very shiny because apparently philosophy students from all over the world, they visit it and they touch it because they believe that it brings them good luck with their exams. And on our visit we actually saw plenty of other tourists touching it, and I suppose they are lucky that it's not his real toe. After the David Hume statue you will soon see the St. Giles Cathedral, and it's properly called the High Kirk of Edinburgh. And the present church, it dates back to the 15th century, and during his life it had many alterations. And you can visit it, it was free of entrance, but you can also you can give some donations if you wish to. In front of the St. Giles Cathedral you can see the Heart of Midlothian, and this heart marks the site of the old Tolbooth, which was a prison. And back in the days, people, they used to spit on it as a disdain for the prisoners. And today it's just done for good luck. This is the statue of Alexander the Great, taming his horse Bucephalus. It is located inside the courtyard of the city chambers, which are the next point of interest. Edinburgh City Chambers, they are home to the City of Edinburgh Council. And what makes this building so interesting is that it shows 4 stories if you look at it from the Royal Mile. But if you were to look at it from the other side of it, then you could see that it actually has 12 levels, I think, 12 levels high. The building was built in the mid-18th century to serve as a royal exchange, but the merchants, back then they preferred their meeting place at the Market Cross, sort of outside. And yeah, so we will just show you now the Market Cross. It's just opposite the city chambers. The Market Cross of Edinburgh, you can actually see similar versions in various other towns of Scotland. It's not just in Edinburgh. And it marks the ground where the monarchs or other leaders granted the rights to hold a market back in the days. The Market Cross in Edinburgh is to this day used for royal proclamations, the succession of a new monarch, and the calling for general elections. And this version here is actually a copy of the original. The copy was built in the 19th century, and the original version, you can just see a few meters down from it, there is on the ground a sort of the similar shape is marked into the ground. You can't see, you can only see it in the stones. And between the original version and the current version, you can see the statue of Adam Smith, and he was a famous philosopher and economist. And this statue, it was only unveiled in 2008, so you can see that here. And if you turn around, then you can see the Tron Kirk. This church was built in the 17th century, and it was closed in the 50s, so you cannot actually visit it, but you can just look at it if you walk along the Royal Mile. This is it for our 10 places of interest along the Royal Mile. This is approximately the halfway point of the Royal Mile, and there are some other sites. Just if you were to head further towards the end, you can see other sites along it.